besides this being a 2020, I really like how he just has color matched pretty much almost anywhere on the truck. Like he's got the color matching the headlights, just a little cap around the tow mirrors. Of course, all his suspension parts and all of his bumpers, front and back, are both getting color matched right now. But I mean, this truck is just honestly pretty sick, and I really like the color that he went with on the truck. It's like an off, like blackish, grayish color. But I just think it's a really neat build. So another neat thing on this build is he had to have this custom made by Kelderman, because he is in the military, and he sent that to him. They was able to cut that out for him and actually put that on the build. But I mean, this thing is a freaking unit. This thing is a freaking unit. I'm excited to actually see it completely done, which he said he should have it done, I think by next week or something like that. But we'll have to get out here and make another video on it whenever it gets done. But this build is freaking sick.
So decided to buy the truck because somebody wanted to buy my 2015 LML off of me. So they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and I was like, all right, time to let it go. And it was honestly my wife's idea to take it to SEMA. It was, she came up one day and she said, hey, for my anniversary gift to you next year, I want you to build a truck and let's take it to SEMA 2020. And you know, kind of did a double take. I was like, are you sure? Do you know what you're committing to? Right. And she was like, yeah, I understand what I'm getting myself into here, so let's go. And from that moment on, it was like the week after SEMA 2019, it was full steam ahead, finding a vehicle, trying to find what we wanted to go on the vehicle, starting with the lift obviously, and wheels, and you know, it was just full steam ahead after that.
Okay. Can you share with us kind of how you got to be able to like go to SEMA or register for SEMA?
So I hired a build manager.
Okay.
Stole a page out of D-Max Rhino's book.
Okay.
Big, you know, watched his channel a lot from his journey to SEMA 2018, I think it was. And so I stole a page out of his book. I still have a full-time job, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna hire a build manager because I really don't have a lot of time to try to recruit companies and everything else, and I'm not well known in the influencer or truck world, so I was just like, let me do the best I can to, you know, get this thing to SEMA. And so I hired Sean Lewis from SR Designs to help get me there.
Nice.
Yeah, so the truck is a 2020 AT4 carbon black metallic. It's not really black. It's black, but it's not really black. It's a dark gray, as you can tell.
Right.
It's running the Kelderman 7 to 9 inch front lift, 6 to 8 inch rear. We'll be putting our hostile HF04 Punishers on it and wrap those with some Toyo 40 by 1550s.
Okay.
That's the big picture stuff that we've done to it right now. Little picture stuff that we've got done so far. We have our headlights color matched to match our accent color. Did I say tow mirrors? Yeah.
The headlights. It's okay.
Wind that back. Wind that back. So, little picture stuff. We have our tow mirrors, right, painted to match along with our accent color. We've whited out our roof marker lights. Our headlights are also color matched, and they have our accent color inside of them.
Okay.
Bumpers waiting on paint. Grill waiting on paint. We had a custom grill made up by Gravel Empire, all wired grills. Big Lou out of California. And outside of that, we have R1 brakes, R1 rotors. We have a Viair onboard air system that's going to manage the rear air as well as our horn blasters, train horn. Gen Y Ultimate, you know, the ultimate drop hitch company out there up in Indiana. Shout out Gen Y. No, so Gen Y, let me tell you about that, right? So Gen Y is the first company that I probably contacted. Yes, they are the first company that I contacted. Yeah. They're from Indiana. I'm from Indiana.
Oh, you're from Indiana?
And okay. I was up there over the holidays, So
In your truck.
in my truck, it's stock.
Yeah. Okay.
Drove the truck up there. They gave us a tour of the facility.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, showed us around and everything. Talked to them guys. Great company. Love them to death, especially since they're from Indiana. And so that was the first company that I actually talked to. Phil out of Somerville, South Carolina, did our mirrors and headlights. We have the Wicked Customs Goliath mount on the back. Powder coating, all done by our boy Brad over at Vivid in Columbia, South Carolina. Lighting is sponsored by Twisted Pro All Terrain.
Lighting is like rock lights?
Rock lights, light bars,
Okay.
rear lights, front fog lights. Oh, amp steps, yes. Amp Research is joining the build. That is the first seen and heard here. Amp Research has joined the build.
We ain't got no steps though.
I ain't got
Just
no
gonna have to
steps.
jump in.
We're gonna have to jump, man. We're gonna have to run it. We're gonna have to run and jump in, and we're gonna have to PLF out of it.
Oh my god. Good thing you're airborne.
I know, right? Feeding these together, troopers. So this right here was a this is something that's near and dear to me. So the truck's nickname or name to me is No Greater Love, because I truly believe that there's no greater love than to lay down one's life for his friends. And when me and my wife started talking about putting the build together, we discussed things that were like, you know, like what theme could we go with, or what could we build it off? And she's like, hey, you've been in the Army for 20 years. Why don't you do something that surrounds that encompasses everything that you've seen, things that you've done and everything. And one thing that I wanted to pay honor to was the 82nd Airborne Division and my time that I spent with that unit. Almost 10 years in that one place. Been on multiple deployments with those guys and lost a lot of great friends with that unit. So the truck has earned her combat badge by going through everything that she's had to go through. So
there you go.
we put the 82nd Airborne patches on her on both sides.
That's sweet. I really like that. How did you get that cut out?
So Kelderman actually did that for us.
Cool.
So typically when you buy their lift, it comes with a similar plate that has a K on it.
Right.
And I just asked them for the, you know, for the build, for the theme of the build and everything, to put a 82nd logo patch on there.
Okay.
I emailed them the patches. They
That's awesome.
designed it all up, framed it up, cut it out, sent it to us.
Is that why the color scheme is kind of the green, like the military green?
Yeah, that's exactly why. My wife wanted it. She was like, my wife is the color person.
Yeah.
You kind of hear me say that. Like I refer to her for all. I always default back to her when it comes to a color question or, hey, what should I do about like anything with the color? She has the eyes. I don't have the eye for it. So in her mind, like she was like, don't get a black truck, get a dark gray truck. And then she has like, I have this green color in my head that I want to find. And we just couldn't find it. Like we're looking at all my uniforms from the past, and we're just looking for an army green. She's like, no, that's too army green. That's not enough army green. And one day we're sitting on the road, and she sees a 2019-2020 Challenger drive by.
Right.
And she says, that's the green that we need. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, that's the green. So
you go chase him down.
Really. So I literally went to Milton Rubin Dodge, and I ordered a ton of color swatches from Prismatic, and just started sitting out there color matching color, trying to find the closest one. And about 2 weeks later, somebody had already cracked the code on it, and they posted it on Instagram, and I saw it, and that was it. So it's F8 green is the color code by Chrysler. Okay. And Prismatic is called Calypso Green.
Oh, so this is a Chrysler color on a GM.
Yeah, it is. It's a Chrysler color on a GM.
Looks good though. I like it.
Big special thanks to my family, who sacrificed a lot of time with me so that I could come here and play on the truck or have fun or work or slave or whatever you want to call it. North Augusta Customs for allowing me to build the truck here, and them taking partnership with me in this adventure. Really appreciate their help with that. All my sponsors, big shout out to you guys for believing in the build and seeing our rendering and seeing what we thought in our mind looked great and agreeing with us and helping us through the project. And Sean Lewis from SR Designs, our build manager, big thanks to him. Couldn't have done any of this without him. Literally.
Yeah.
And I do want to thank some of the YouTubers out there that I've watched take vehicles to SEMA and learn from their tips and tricks of the trade. I mentioned Ryan earlier. That's like the guy that I watched for 2 years, just trying to. I watched like all his SEMA stuff. Just trying to learn
I
how to
watched
build
the whole thing too. It was interesting.
It was. It just like, I mean, there's been times that I've had to go back and rewatch some of his videos. Like the other day, I watched his video about rock light placement and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to like pick up little tips and tricks from other people. I've never done it, so you know, big shout out to that for helping us.